we were asked, or I was asked, and we complied, to do a how-to of Left 4 Dead Special Infected. I'm not really sure how to do this. It might turn out to be horrible. And we have missed quite a lot. There was only so much we could show with just the two of us and a bunch of bots. So, here we go. First we've got the boomer. I'll give you a quick explanation of what the boomer is. Big fat guy, or girl. There's two, male and female, that are exactly the same. They don't move very fast, and they spew vomit as their attack, which A, calls zombies, one, and B, calls infected, sorry, and B, makes your screen go really annoying and blurry. It's the world's worst thing. So what you want to try and do is, because you're slow and you've got quite a short range of vomit, you want to sneak up on survivors. I'll show you a little clip now. So yeah, you can't just wander up in the middle of a street. You have to jump in and smush everybody. If you miss one player, it's not a big deal. Or you can. This is something I like to do. If I miss one, you just keep chasing them. Sometimes they'll block you, or sometimes someone else will accidentally shoot them, and you just, when you explode, if you explode near someone, you cover them in boomer bile because your stomach's full of bile. So spit, and then drop down the hole like a motherfucking badass. Lewis doesn't know what to do. I think it's Bill. The melee knockback stops you from vomiting, but if you get hit, I think it's like 3 times. If you get meleeed 3 times, then you explode. This is a boomer bomb or a rocket boom, depending on if you're cool or not. You use the momentum as a ghost when you're running back and forward to drop down at a quicker speed than you would normally, which can be quite surprising. And then I covered dude in bile even though he missed. When you get killed, you can sometimes set off the witch. I didn't do this very well. If she's slightly startled and you explode near her, it sets her off, basically. And then Bill covers himself in boom again, which wasn't very clever. Another point I should make, or can make, oh yeah, this is the car thing first. Standing in the car, some poor sap shoots me in a second. Really need to sneeze. I'll have to edit that out. Come on, shoot me, Francis. There we go. And it sets off the car, which you can't hear because I hate that noise. You can boom upwards and it'll kind of arch over and land on people. Always fun. And then try and run in and trick dude. Doesn't fall for it. So that's it. There's no point. Like, you have to be sneaky and jump out or jump on, pop around a corner. This is dude doing the witch thing because I didn't manage it. There we go. And that's how you do that. If you hear a boomer, well, the point of the rocket boom really is that you don't see it coming. But if you do hear it, you can shoot them mid-air. That there was a melee knockback. This, when you explode, you knock people back with the force of the explosion, which can be helpful if someone doesn't pick him up. Which is where you would either charge or jockey or anything. Well, firstly, the hunter is kind of like a parkour-y, bouncy, jumpy thing. What you really want to do is, if you land on someone from a high enough point, you need 25 points of damage, which is 25% of their overall health, which is usually better than just pouncing on them from the ground because you're quite easy to kill or just melee off. Plus, if you jump from all the way up there, no one's going to be able to see you to block you or know where you're coming from. So you see a lot of people jumping off walls and across and back and forth kind of thing. I can't do that, so we didn't bother. But it's because of the landing damage or the pounce damage. So I'll show you one. More helpful when people stand still. So if you're a survivor and you hear a hunter, I always just move around in a little circle or something, hope for the best. You can block hunters as they pounce. That was an attempt at skeeting, which is where you kill them mid-air, like mid-pounce. Well, I'm not very good at that either, so I'll show you how to block. It's quite difficult, and it all kind of depends on timing, but there you go, block and then kill. Charger is fun, but this makes it look much easier than it really is to do a def charge. Def charge not being the only useful thing that a hunter can do, but considering it's an instant death, it's helpful on some maps and some chapters. We do quite a lot of these just to show all the different windows. Basically anywhere with a tool drop. I think there's probably at least one in every map. No, there probably isn't. Close enough. And it is the most annoying thing in the entire world to have happen to you. Even when you miss, you cause like a little stun that can be useful, but not if you're the only charger. And I think we show in a second, that was an attempt at trying to hit both of them, knock the one back, and kill dude in the process. Sometimes if a character is low health, especially, like 10 or 20 HP, you can punch that person, not character, spoiler, you can punch that person and then charge someone else, and that'll be an incap of 2, in theory. Leveling a charge. I wonder, in fact, I'm going to show that twice. I'm going to slow it down because it's so boss. I did it first try, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a hit with a melee weapon does, I think, approximately, on occasion, 5 points of damage. I love that scene. This is, you don't charge from far away because it's so easy to sidestep if you're not a bot. You want to charge where they're either surrounded by infected so they can't move, or like trapped in some way. We usually, for def charges especially, you use a jockey and a smoker to help. That is the first example we have of killing someone not as the main target of your charge, but like knocking someone back with the charger and sending them into some kind of trouble. And this is another one. They're all gathered together, knock one, and Bill goes flying into the background. Dude got lucky there. Not gonna lie. Another example. Had Bill flown off with me and Lewis been low enough health, Lewis would be trapped there because you can't get back up. So, to recap, yeah. Chargers have quite a lot of health and little tiny small heads that I can never seem to get headshots on, ever, no matter how much I try. Near edges, at certain parts in certain maps that you'll learn, they are ridiculously useful, but you need the help of a team, or you need to be playing against really new players because it's more difficult than it looks. No Mercy finale being like the prime example of this. Punch low health characters, survivors, and then charge someone else. Or if you think you're going to miss, punch and then charge, because it does more damage guaranteed. It's like 10, 20 HP per 10 HP per punch, and sometimes charges don't last that long, so yeah. The next infected is a jockey. I'm not very good at jockey at all. The jockey is a little annoying thing that jumps on you and controls where you move. They can be meleeed off by survivors and he'll release and you'll still be alive. Essentially, the aim of the jockey is to move a survivor into danger. So either with the death charge, move him into the path of a window so you can charge out, or off a roof, etc. Or off a ledge there. And here, and a whole bunch of times. Again, not so helpful if you're the only infected around, but I'm sure you can see the use. And then this one, some edges the survivor can't grab on, so they fall down, and they take the full damage. So if they're low enough and the distance that they drop is big enough, they can either die or get incapped. That's the blocking of a jockey. Dude is much better at blocking than I am. This is melee and then kill a jockey. Not that I killed it, but still. Blocking a jockey, just a quick example. He does jump eventually. Block, and then kill. Fun, fun, fun. All fun and games. The smoker, okay, recap of the jockey. No, I really don't like jockey, I'm not very good at him. Pull him into danger or away from the rest of the group, or both. The smoker has a long tongue that can reach quite a surprising distance, pulling a survivor towards him or her. The tongue can be meleeed. Instead of shooting the player, shooting the smoker, you can melee the survivor and they become free, and then you can kill the smoker. This, I was trying to show pulling a survivor into the witch, I'll pause it there, to startle her, and the bots just wouldn't play ball. So that was another example. If you can't do that, if you're too slow or it's the wrong situation, if someone startles the witch, you can pull them towards you so they can't run away from the witch and or kill her. So there is that. And the same with the car, that we didn't do a clip. But where the boomer was with the car and the car alarm, you can do that with a smoker and pull them, put the car in between you and the survivor, pull them and it sets off the car alarm. Same with the jockey. On some ledges, you can pull survivors off, and that opens up the situation for chargers, hunters, almost anyone really, provided you don't miss. And there it is again. Yeah, that's not really particularly useful on its own. It doesn't even do much damage. This is dude accidentally cutting my tongue, which is something I'll show you when I was trying. If you time it right, you hear a smoker and you think it's coming for you, you can cut the tongue with your melee. It's obscenely difficult, and I don't recommend surviving based solely on that. At some point in maps, there are parts where you can't climb back over. This is one example. Sorry. In that situation, you can, in this particular situation, you can get back over. I tried to show how you can move this chair and then stand on it to get enough height to jump back up. But for some reason, it just wasn't working out. And by the time I got over the wall, the coach was already dead. But I mean, it's a little bit of, you can do it, it's doable. And then I kill him. Boom, boom. Just another quick example of, this is a potential death, depending on how lucky you get and where he lands. And there's another one. In theory, that puts, provided they don't cover the spawn points, having to pick Nick up sets you up for a charger, which can be quite painful. And then this is just a quick clip to show you don't need to be able to see very much of the survivor to catch them. As long as the little circle, the Amy bit, is red, you're all good. This is dude getting unlucky. I should have died, and I did not. Because, fuck him. A bit annoying is that the bots took forever to rescue me. You can shoot the tongue. It's quite difficult because it's quite small. But meleeing me would have done in that situation as well. Good grief. Tanks have 6,000 health on versus. In campaigns, they are depending on. It is dependent on what difficulty you play it on. 6,000 health is quite a lot. I think it's 6,000. Pretty sure it's 6,000. So yeah, as a survivor, what you want to do is set the fucker on fire and just kite him, because they're slower than survivors that are green in health, not yellow or red. And you can dodge the punches as well. I think I've got a clip of that. They can also throw rocks and hit cars. Throwing rocks is quite difficult because they can be shot. So it depends who you're playing against. Some people it's not worth it at all. And obviously you can punch people. When you punch people, they kind of have a charger reaction where they go flying off in all sorts of directions. Throwing rocks, some people can't. Sometimes, in some situations, you can't avoid it. Oh, Bill. I punched then and Zoe went flying off the edge. Didn't mean to. Is she dead now? I tried to show it with Francis. Hit him and he goes flying. Unfortunately, he hung on. Quick note, if a survivor does a runner, or runs away, ahead of the game, you don't always have to chase them in a linear fashion. You can go across and over and whatnot. This is a good example of when to throw a rock. Like, dude is so covered in common infected, not that rock, that's a bad rock, that he can't move and dodge. So it worked out pretty perfectly. And then I was going to let him survive, but he died from commons. A lot of people throw Boomerbile on tanks, so I thought I'd show what it does. The good news is the player who's controlling the tank can't see jack shit, and it does slow the movement of the tank down a little bit and does a little tiny bit of damage, like 2 damage. But at the same time, it did call a horde of zombies where there were no zombies previously, and when the bile runs out, the zombies go for you, not the tank. That was me meleeing a tank, just for the lols. Those are the cars being hit. Not only did he hit the car, which is fucking dangerous, it's an instant in-cap regardless of your amount of health, but he set off the car alarm, calling more zombies, and that really annoyed me. Yeah, if you get hit by a car, it is an instant in-cap. That's very annoying. And I think that's all of them. I hope you have fun playing versus, and now that you know a little bit more about what to do. The biggest thing that people seem to forget is that it's a team thing, even more so than survivors. Like, I've seen people that can survive 4 infected all alone for a certain amount of time. 4 special infected, sorry. But the special infected, like, you'll struggle to get a death charge without the help of a smoker or a jockey or even a hunter. Tanks can't particularly run out into the open with 4 100% health survivors without the help of people to slow them down or catch the one ahead or the one behind. Boomers need distractions or cause distractions. A quick note, if 3 people are boomed and 1 isn't, pick the one that isn't boomed to, like, hunt or jockey or whatever, because the other 3 players can't see shit. And that's it. It's not really a comprehensive explanation of everything that you can possibly do. Like, there are silent hunter pounces, and there are certain charges, like you can pick survivors up that aren't necessarily in your line of sight, and all sorts of stuff. But it's a quick, brief example of what you can do and how you can kill and how they work, I think. Just go and play and have fun. Enjoy yourselves. And there's quite a few bloopers from making these clips that I'll post that were quite amusing to me and Dude. Amusing to me when it happened to him, and amusing to him when it happened to me, kind of thing. So yeah, enjoy.